All right, everyone, I'm back and I'm excited about this session because I think we can all agree that AI-powered products sound great, but when it comes to actually understanding what technology is out there, and more importantly, the use cases it solves for, it gets a little bit murkier. There are new AI products hitting the market every day, and it can feel overwhelming to figure out how it all hangs together. So let's take a look at how to use AI-powered MarTech to fuel your pipeline generation strategy, from the first touch all the way through to closing that deal. First, let's talk about something we're all familiar with because you're using it right now to watch Pipeline Summit AI, which is Goldcast. Marketers spend so much time planning and executing events to get in front of our audiences. And Goldcast's new content lab is making it easier than ever before to get the most out of your event content. Check it out.
All right. So I'm going to take you through the journey of an event, the journey of a full end-to-end multi-channel campaign that was inspired by a Goldcast event strategy. We run a series here at Goldcast called Donuts and Demand, targeted at our audience, B2B marketers, really helping them connect with our broader community, learn best practices, etc. Many of our customers also run these types of event series on Goldcast, and this is what they look like. And one of the common requests we get is how to extend the life of an event, extend the campaign around that event. I'm going to show you how we do it here at Goldcast. This is our on-demand content from that event that you just saw. You can come in and watch the event. You notice, though, that it's 58 minutes. So part of our whole strategy here is to give you those takeaways if you don't have time to watch the event via a blog post. It also will ultimately drive interest in watching that on-demand event to see the summary, to see some of the top quotes, to see some of the top clips. And so our team is hard at work generating this full end-to-end campaign, the content to go along with it, the clips to go along with it, the clips even to post on social to give you that snappable taste of what the webinar was like if you couldn't be there, along with driving you back to the links to that blog post and more on demand. And so how did we get there? We used the content lab. We developed the content lab to solve a top pain point for B2B marketers who generate really great content throughout their business, but then have to collaborate across the team to get that snappable clip, to get that blog post. So on Goldcast, when you run an event, you have the video, you have the entire transcript from the event. For anyone who's worked with generative AI, you know that a lot can be done when you have a lot of great language to work with. So the two use cases we empower our users with are creating video clips and creating text summaries. Here you can generate the top clips from the event or even highlight a really snappy quote that you want to create a clip from. If I want to just jump right in, I'll show you one of the clips we generated here with Chris. Part of the magic of the Goldcast Content Lab is that we pull the active speaker feeds. We pull all of those feeds. So we also pair them with your brand colors. And we can give you lots of templates to work with right out the gate. You can go back and forth. You can really understand what's going to work best for your strategy with what you have here. You can also use audiograms. So you highlight the caption, you highlight the speaker image if you didn't think the video was that compelling or if you want to go with something different. So all of that is built into the content lab. When you have the clip that you want to use, you can download it and you can generate a summary to go along with it. So you remember our blog post over here. This is a great tool to generate a starting point. You can generate a few different use cases. What you're seeing here is a blog post outline developed from our content lab. We also have key quotes. So one of the custom use cases is to generate quotes. That's one of the things that really saves marketers time. You can ask it to generate with context. You can also go in and generate many of these use cases. You can see here a follow-up email for people who couldn't attend with key takeaways is another thing that you can have ready to go. And so in my conversation with many of our customers, we've noticed that really helping with that first draft, really helping with generating some of those clips, already getting them branded, is going to take steps out of the workflow. It's going to cut down for many of our beta customers from weeks of work up to 3 weeks of work down to hours. We use it in our own strategy, as you saw, and I'm so excited for you to try it out too. We've launched to all customers at the end of October, and I can't wait to hear what use cases you come up with.
I know my team is so excited to put Content Lab to the test after this event. But what good is all of this content if you aren't able to harness the engagement and convert it into pipeline? That's where the rest of our tech stack comes in. Goldcast just helped you put a bunch of campaign content into market. Now let's take a look at how to leverage 6 Sense's predictive model to identify when accounts are most likely to convert and when to start reaching out.
We've spent the better part of 10 years trying to help companies do what we call light up their dark funnel. So the dark funnel is a phrase we love so much we trademarked it. It essentially represents kind of the research activity that prospects are doing, usually anonymously, on websites you don't own. So a company's interested in a chat solution, let's say, and before they go to Qualified's website, they might be doing research on industry publications, blogs. They might be going to technology review sites like a G2, TrustRadius, Gartner. And we essentially have relationships with millions of different publishers where we get all of that activity data and then use our own matching technology, which is best in the industry, to associate all of that activity back to accounts. So not to individual people, but to the accounts that are doing that research. So you can imagine for any single customer, we've got tens of millions of data points about everything that's happening kind of leading up to when an opportunity is open, all the way through till that opportunity is closed won or closed lost. And so where the AI really starts to come, and by the way, there's a bunch of AI involved in how we track what the pages are about in the dark funnel. So we've got natural language processing algorithms there. One of the ways that you track your dark funnel activity is by entering keywords. We use AI, for example, to recommend keywords in addition to the keywords that you as a customer might decide you want to put in. But I think kind of the secret sauce AI, the secret sauce that uses AI that we're most known for is what we would call our predictive model or our buying stage model. So with all of this data that we ingest, we actually have 5 or 6 different ML models that run on that data to produce different types of scores. So we have an ICP model, for example, an account profile fit model. We have a contact profile fit model. So which personas are most involved right before an opportunity gets open. I'm not going to get into all of those today. The one that you're looking at right here is the one that we're probably most well known for. And by buying stage model, what it's basically doing is it's looking at all of your historical opportunities and what were those accounts doing right before the opportunity was open. And it's then scoring every account in your CRM today based on where in that buying journey we think they are relative to these other opportunities that were open. So it is a predictive model. And you can see here, this is kind of what a pretty healthy funnel would look like. Sixth Sense did not invent the concepts of awareness, consideration, decision, purchase. Marketers have been using those terms for probably close to 100 years now. But it is sort of central to what our customers' revenue operating models look like, which at its core is marketing should focus on awareness and consideration accounts and moving them through the buying journey. Sales should focus on decision and purchase stage accounts and closing business with them. And so it's a very easy way for both marketing and sales organizations to work from the same set of data, to have a very clear sort of division of labor as to, who's responsible for what and when. And as you can imagine, one of the things that I think is powerful about this is, in addition to allowing marketers to run different plays and tactics at accounts with at least an educated guess as to where they are in the buying journey, it also gives sellers a wealth of information about exactly what those accounts are doing.
Incredible. You've used AI-built content to drive demand with your target accounts, identified which accounts are in purchase mode and most likely to convert, and now it's time to start reaching out. But the outbound process can be a little overwhelming to manage. SalesLoft's latest AI release, Rhythm, uses AI to help you manage your entire outbound motion, from the first email all the way through the entire buying cycle. So let's see how it works.
So this screen may look very familiar to you as far as what your team's day-to-day looks like. 2023 studies show that only 28% of a seller's time is actually spent selling, and only about 25% of sellers are on track to hit quota. And what a lot of companies have done is they've spent more money on tech stack to help with this, with the average being about 120 applications. And so while the goal was to create efficiency and productivity, what a lot of that has done is created more of a distraction, swivel chairing, and kind of organizing that chaos. So this is where we have Rhythm come into play to really help with this. So while we do have various different focus zones to kind of meet the seller where they want to live, the structured ones with our cadence, with a proactive multi-channel approach to get to some sort of end goal, as well as our close, which is more of that opportunity management. And then we have our unstructured workflow, which is Rhythm. So I want to dive a little bit deeper into Rhythm with you. And what Rhythm is it's using our Conductor AI to turn the buyer behavior from across your ecosystem into seller actions. So it's allowing teams to prioritize actions that drive to their outcomes quicker. So let's hit on a couple of things that pull into here. So one of the first things that has been something that our clients are really excited about is having the ability to pull in their third-party integrations. So we have some to highlight, such as DocuSign, G2, Vidyard, the same kind of sprinkled throughout, but we do have more and more that we're adding to the platform, the capabilities. We're also going to be looking at CRM data when it comes to opportunity and the buyer engagement that the seller's having. And also the seller's activity. Did they have a meeting? Do they have one coming up? And having prompts for that. And really what the AI is doing is it's looking at our opportunity information, and it's looking at our buyer engagement, and it's ranking those actions based off of the immediacy and the impact and prioritizing them based on the likelihood to lead to a booked meeting or an open opportunity, and it's looking at that deal importance. So one thing that SalesLoft really prides ourselves in is explainability with our AI. So you'll see it sprinkled throughout, but just to call it out here, as I hover over the opportunity-specific data, you'll see it's already indicating why the Conductor AI has prioritizes the way that it has. So you'll see that one thing in particular is our deal engagement score. And what our deal engagement score is it's using that AI to provide insight of the likelihood for this deal to end as a closed one based off of recency, frequency, progression, and engagement we've had with our buying committee, and really ultimately removing the subjectivity of the deal. But I also have that same insight from the buyer engagement perspective. So you can see the key factors that are impacting this were my email sent, clicked, and those call connects that I made. So let's take a further look into the workflow of Rhythm. And let's say I've already booked a meeting, or I've done a meeting and I want to provide a follow-up here. So I can go ahead and action this and having my sidebar that follows me along here, making it super easy to be efficient in my day. And then you'll see that it's already pulled in this template and it's ready to go to where I can add personalization or leave it as is. One thing I want to call out that will introduce our conversations AI is these next steps and action items. So I'm going to take a glimpse into our conversations and show you where we're pulling this information as well as other AI insight that's available. So tabbing this down, we do have a recap tab that's going to give us two pieces of main AI in conversations. First, it's going to look at the summary. This is going to provide, hence the name, a summarized view into what occurred during this meeting. And then it's also going to have those action items laid out that, as you see, we've set up automation to automatically pull that into the email. So what I'm getting here is not only am I getting efficiency with those meeting follow-ups and those action items, I'm ensuring nothing falls through the cracks with those deliverables. And then the other thing is we're thinking about a collaboration or a coaching perspective. This really allows those collaborating teams or those managers to understand at a glance what happened and what is coming up and what do we need to drive towards as an outcome from this meeting. So as we wrap this up, you'll see that AI is critical to SalesLoft, and it's weaved throughout our platform to really make sure that we're focusing our teams on the right actions to get them to those outcomes that they're after quicker.
It's so cool to see how AI actually helps us spend more time marketing and selling and less time in the operational weeds. So you have your outbound plan, but does it mean anything if you aren't getting a response from your buyers? Lavender uses AI to score your email communications and identify areas where you can make tweaks to optimize your outreach for engagement and response. Check it out.
Hey everybody, Chad here from Lavender. I'm going to show you an email intelligence platform. And basically what that means is we're going to sit on top of your existing email providers and show you how likely is your email to get a reply using your best practice data. So using personalized data from emails that you've sent historically to tell you how do you perform the absolute best. What it's going to look like. This email right here, you might think, great, right? This is a perfect email. Well, Lavender's not going to tell you that. We're going to tell you it's a decent email. But really where we want to see this is at a 90 score. This is where we're going to see the biggest improvement in terms of reply rates. So what do we want to do? We want to get this up into the 90 range. How do we do it? Go through the steps, right? Very first thing we're telling you, subject length, make it shorter. You don't use title or use title case, make it shorter, exclude numbers. So let's make it shorter and exclude some numbers. It's shorter. My score is going to go up. Subject length goes away. Mobile issues, we're looking at this right here. This is what it's going to look like when somebody gets it on a mobile phone. Make it mobile friendly. 83% more likely to get a reply if you make your emails mobile friendly. It's really quite simple. You should do it on everything. LinkedIn messaging, emailing, wherever you're writing, make it mobile friendly. Now, this is if we're doing a sequence, a template step, right? We've already got it written out. Perhaps we don't have this. Come over here. We can actually do ChatGPT. This will show you, you can use it to write an email, of course, but what I'm going to recommend is initiatives and pain points. What are some initiatives and some pain points that a CEO may be experiencing right now, right? And you can find that in the personalization. This will give you all the information that we're able to find on Mr. William Balance up here. Use this, populate an email for you. Biggest thing, make sure you run it through Lavender and get that Lavender score. Once you click the send button, if you want to see how you're performing, if you go into your dashboard, right here, the center column is going to show you everything that we're measuring. You can click into any of them and see, what is this actually doing to my data, right? What is long sentences doing to my data? You can filter it by email type, teams, team member, specific domains, whatever you need to see, it's all here. If you need help with anything, as always, support@lavender.ai. Reach out. Let us know what you need help with. We're always happy to help. Thanks, everybody.
All right, we've engaged buyers with our content. We've identified the accounts that are ready to buy. We've optimized our outbound workflow to be as efficient as possible, and we've tailored our outreach to be succinct and impactful, all with the power of AI. But here is where it's all going to come together. With the Pipeline Cloud, powered by qualified AI, the outbound message we sent at the exact right moment is about to pack a major punch when our buyer clicks the link and lands on the website, where an AI-powered chatbot is ready to convert them into pipeline. Watch this.
Thanks, Sarah. Let's get into it. So here on the qualified website, we have one of our target accounts, Carta, browsing around. Carta can engage with the qualified team in multiple ways. Things like chat, but also things like qualified meetings. Simply by clicking on one of these calls to actions, our target account visitor can get a VIP access to the appropriate representative's calendar. They pick the time that works for them, and off they go, meeting booked. But there may be some situations where this visitor is browsing around and maybe looks at a few things instead of just to have, hey, I have some questions about this particular product. Rather than jumping right into a meeting, let's start to use qualified AI to hopefully engage and answer some questions for this visitor. Now, in this case, start to ask about things like qualified meetings. What qualified is going to do is start to look through all of the content that's been uploaded to our servers. Everything from pricing sheets, product pages, to the information about the account that's on the website right now. Aggregate all that information to hopefully provide a sufficient response that gets them to advance the conversation and generate some pipeline for your team. Now, in this case, asking for a next step, yes, I would love to chat with someone on the team now. Now, this is where we leverage Qualified's unique intelligent routing capabilities. Qualified's going to use AI to figure out who's the exact right person to bring into the conversation, and hopefully queue up our team with the right type of intel to have a good chat. No, that's it for now. Is it for now. And let's jump over to Qualified to continue this conversation. Here inside of Qualified, I can see that Anna from Carta has been prioritized for our sales representative, alongside all of our other visitors here on the website. Now let's jump into this conversation with Anna and pick it up. Now, before we actually start to send Anna a message over here, let's take a quick look at all the information that we get about this visitor. We can see their visit history, their account signal intent, all of the data that we times where we've offered or booked meetings with that team or that specific individual. We even get a wealth of information about that specific contact and that account, enriched by other data providers, like marketing automation or data enrichment services. But it doesn't end there, because we actually can get an insight to what specifically this visitor is looking at right now here on the website. So as they browse around, this becomes a co-buying journey, and we can help them along in their evaluation. Now, I here have said I want to jump in based on everything that I now know about Anna and the team. So here, I'll say, hey, you know what? I can help you about qualified meetings. Did you have any questions or specifically about pricing? And you know what? Yes, I do have questions about pricing. And let's say, great. You know what? Let's see if Anna wants to hop on a video call right here and now. And it looks like, yes, she does. And without ever leaving the qualified platform, I can turn this immediately into a real-time conversation right here on the website. All things go well. I end the conversation by simply putting in my calendar, selecting the people that I need to, and sending over this next step for us into our wonderful pipeline. And so, just like that, we've taken a conversation, an interaction on the website, turned it into multiple touch points for generating pipeline, and gotten that next meeting booked with the appropriate person on their team. Sarah, back to you.
And there you have it, a modern tech stack powered by AI, taking an event just like this one and turning into engaging content, optimizing every step of the outbound sales motion, crafting pitch-perfect emails, and most importantly, generating more pipeline. The future of pipeline generation is here, and it's powered by AI.